All right, boys. Let's talk about the botting issue in Master Duel. All right. I said yesterday on stream that I haven't been playing Master Duel for the last couple days because I was doing a bunch of dueling stuff. They got a new box, so there's a lot of content to be had there. So I came back to Master Duel today, this morning, to do a little bit of research on what's going on. And I don't know, man. This is like my third or fourth duel on my alternate account down in gold, and I did a duel earlier in Diamond 5. And this is probably the worst the botting has ever been. I've actually been waiting for maybe a minute for this guy to finish his turn now. I think it's actually closer to 2 minutes, so he's probably getting close to auto disconnecting or surrendering or whatever he's gonna do at this point. And I figured, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just make a video in between now and however long he takes to disconnect, and then just finish it up and wrap it up when he's done. Why do people DC? Why do people bot? What's going on, right? We figured that it would be all over once they change the daily rewards. I even said once they change those daily rewards, there's no way people will continue to bot. And I highly doubt people are just botting for the daily 100 gems, right? Maybe people on like this guy's account where he's got like actually 15 cards, in his extra, and he's actually got like a deck built. This might be an actual individual who's botting. I don't know. But people who have, like just the standard duelist deck, the beginner's deck, those accounts are not being botted for gems. They are, but they're being botted to be sold. I made that video way back talking about how individuals are selling gems and selling accounts right now on Master Duel, and this is how they generate them. They bought all the way up because at the end of the day, the 5 or so minutes it takes for them to DC, that's irrelevant to them. They don't care because they just have their bot program running all day, and it just kind of goes through and hopefully they get some people getting frustrated and surrendering out of frustration. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They're leveling up their duel pass, they're leveling up their character levels. There's a lot of free gems that these people are willing to bot for, and they sell these accounts for dirt cheap. They're selling these accounts for like $5 a pop, so to them this is all just like dirty farming, right? They're just generating large quantities of these decks and just tossing them out into the black market, if you will, to be sold. And it's here's the thing, right? Every single game has botting, right? Botting is not something that you can just fix. It's not a hack that, it's being exploited in the system and it has to be, you have to go in and fix it as a team. That's not how you combat botting in games. And for every big game, has botting. Final Fantasy 14, Duel Links, World of Warcraft, every game has that where you can farm, resources, has some sort of botting available in the game. And there are a couple ways Master Duel can combat it. I think what they've done so far is put a band-aid on it to make it not as lucrative for legit accounts to bot, but it is still lucrative for, people who are setting up these accounts and bots just so they can sell the accounts, if you will, right? And how does Duel Links deal with it, right? Because Duel Links is probably the closest of all the games that I mentioned. I don't know how Hearthstone does it or anything like that. I don't play those games, but in Duel Links, there's massive amounts of bots, probably the same level of bots as Master Duel, but they have a casual queue. The casual queue does not affect your rank, and you go in there. If you actually ever go into the casual queue, it's literally just bot queue. It's just bots versus bots all day long. And they just sit there and bot against each other until the ends of times. Because the way the game is set up right now, where you can still earn rewards for basically AFKing, or even earn rewards if you just constantly lose. The only way to stop that is to just remove rewards for losing altogether. And that would be an awful thing to, get rid of. I hope that's not what Konami decides to do, because that's what they basically decided to do last time, where they just removed, how much daily gems you could get. Which, again, I don't think a lot of people ever farmed 100 daily gems, so it's whatever. It wasn't like a big deal, but it's more the action of them removing it rather than trying to add a casual queue to encourage bots to go there, or to even allow demotion all the way from D5 down. Because here's the thing, right? If you just allowed demotion straight up and there was no demotion prevention, these bots would continuously keep just kind of getting piled down. And that's why this one is kind of the worst of them all, where they just kind of AFK, because people do get frustrated and just surrender these games because they're tired of waiting for the bots to complete their turn. It's been 5 minutes that I've been talking, and we're still in this game, so I can completely understand how someone can just get completely frustrated with this and just surrender and move on, because to you it's just one loss. You just roll the dice and hope you don't get a bot again. But compared to something like DD Dynamite Burn or something like that, where it just happens very quickly, and then it's over and you don't have to really worry about it anymore. And if there was no demotion with like a DD Dynamite Burn deck, it would they would all congeal kind of at the bottom of the queue where everyone else would continue climbing. But yeah, without demotion, proper demotion, these bots, they end up in diamond, and you wonder how do these decks even getting to diamond? The frustration we were talking about is definitely bad, but it's also just there are so many of these goddamn bots that they end up dueling each other. They end up climbing off of each other, and over time, especially late in the month, right now it's the 28th, the season's about to reset, you get to a point where they win enough games that eventually they just GG, they just win, they just flat out win enough to get to Diamond 5. You can see that I finally win due to time limit win. This person kind of just sucks. And they're botting too, because if you've ever actually stalled during a turn, I've sometimes timer stalled because I'm talking to chat and I'm not realizing it's my turn. The game will tell you need to do something or you will be, disconnected before the time limit. So these bots are actively having their mouse click around, without actually doing anything on their turn. So there you go. Just wanted to vent my frustrations. I don't really want to play Master Duel ranked right now because this is like the third game in a row where this has happened. I wanted to do a little bit more research into why this was going on, but it's whatever, dude. You just saw that it's just a piece of shit. Konami, if you're not going to combat the botting issue, if you're not going to have demotion, just add a casual queue and let the bots exist, and we don't have to actually physically interact with them. Just have them in the background like you did with Duel Links. You basically ignored bots for 5+ years in Duel Links. Please, at the very least, just do that in Master Duel so I don't have to play against them in ranked. For the love of God, please do something, because this is worse than it's ever been. I love you guys. Till next time.